Let's see if we're live. Shit. Something's going on. All right, we're live now. My internet is so whack, though. Hell yeah, boy. We already got this bitch up. All right. You ready? What is up, everybody? It is me and Dalton. We are here sharing some bets with everybody, trying to become a profitable sports bettor. As you can see here, we have the Daily Grind Fantasy tool up. That's exactly what we'll be using to create some of these slips for us. This is the AI slip generator. We'll make sure to share some of these slips for you. We have some flip plays for you. And then we'll also go to kind of betting pros and see what they're doing. But I also want to kind of point out, first off, Dalton, how are you doing? How the hell are you doing?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to be here, just be able to find some bets with everybody. This is something that makes watching sports fun. You got college football right in the midst of it all right here. It's crazy to think we're already almost halfway through the regular season of college football. It feels like football season's already just flying right by us. So right now, just trying to find as many bets as we can before this thing is over. But we got basketball coming right around the corner too, because we got the preseason games going on. So we got a lot going on. I'm excited about it. So let's
Man,
see what we can find.
October, November are easily probably one of the best months to be a sports fan because the end of October is
Yeah.
when the NBA season's starting. It's also postseason baseball, and then we've also got the NFL, college football. Footballs are like everything is in full swing at that point. Dalton, I don't want to hit on it too hard, but I know you brought up college football. Your boys, if we've got some listeners in here, Dalton is a diehard Alabama fan. So I don't want to pour salt on the wound because I first off don't have a leg to stand on. Y'all are still ranked top 10. I believe y'all dropped down to number 7. Is that right?
That is correct. And
Yeah.
don't worry, yes, pouring salt on the wound makes the wound heal, but ain't no healing right now.
Yeah.
Ain't no healing.
Well, you,
So yeah, well, you know what? We took one to the chin. That's all we can do. Vanderbilt was a better team. I hate to say that, sour Bama. We're not used to losing, but hey, I'm gonna continue to ride this one out with them. I'm not gonna bail on them. So like most Bama fans probably will them bandwagoners. You guys, you know what? Go ahead and leave Bama. If you guys aren't Bama fans, true Bama fans, go ahead and leave because you'll make my ticket prices a lot cheaper. So we'll see y'all. Hit the road.
You know dang well that's not happening, but it is. You know it is crazy though that just Vanderbilt walked out of that with a win. Because going into halftime, Vanderbilt had the lead, and it's just like I think everyone agreed that Vandy's gonna find a way to just fuck this up. Great, like they're just gonna find a way to fuck this up, and they didn't. They found a way to stick around. I didn't watch the game. What I did watch was the highlights, and it didn't show everything, but it just seems like Alabama just could not stop them offense. Like when Alabama was on defense and Vandy was on offense. Like I saw so many of the highlights. It was third down and something, and they were just converting one after another.
But I will say, I don't know if you had saw this, but Vanderbilt had the ball for no joke. I think they said it was 45 minutes out of the 60 minutes total of football played. Vanderbilt controlled the ball that long. That's just kind of what you get when you play a team that's a triple option team, but you can't get out of third downs. I mean, there were so many times Bama had them down third and long, fourth down, but their conversion rate on third down was astronomical. Bama played great getting them the third down, but they couldn't finish the drive to stop them to get our offensive back on the field. I mean, our offense played great with literally only 15 minutes to play, and it was 35-40. I mean, our best players are on offense, and when you can't get them on the field, you can't win games. So at the end of the day, defense has to make stops. They have to finish those drives, and they got to stop shooting themselves in the foot, you know. And so that's one thing that I saw that really upset me was just trying to finish those defensive drives, get your offense back on the field, which is our playmakers. And when you've only had a third of the time on the field with your offense, and yet you still put up 35 and make it competitive, goes to show that we were still dominant. We just couldn't end those drives. It's just they had those drives that were sustained by Vanderbilt, which is what ultimately hurt Bama. So that's what happened. You know, at the end of the day, they showed up. They had a great game plan. They had a lot of wrinkles they threw in there because their offense stayed on the field. Because when you have an offense that stays on the field, they threw new plays at Bama that they had said that even Womack, the defense coordinator for Bama, was like, we didn't, a lot of the stuff that they brought at us, we didn't even see on tape. They were throwing new plays at us and new formations in the fourth quarter. So it was like they were constantly causing our defense to adjust over and over again. And usually, when you have an offense that can sustain drives and stay on the field, they can slowly throw in those new wrinkles here and there and do those new plays. And so that was something I thought was interesting. You know, Vanderbilt just being able to stay out there, they're able to do some new plays and things that they've worked on. And you know, they luckily they didn't have to keep running the same formations over and over again. So they kept Bama guessing the whole time.
Yeah, and I do.
So
I've always,
kudos to them, man. That's a great team.
I have.
It's a great
Stop,
team.
stop. First off, great team. You just need to get y'all. They were a better team that day. We are not gonna sit here and say that Vanderbilt is a great team.
No, dude, they're gonna make a bowl run for sure, dude. They are a great
I
team. They
mean,
are.
they're
I mean,
one win
okay, they're
closer
a
to
great
making
team
a
this
bowl
year.
run.
Look, they're gonna be in a bowl game, and I truly believe they're gonna win it. Look, they also play Texas coming up, so I wouldn't be sleeping on them. You know, and Texas plays them in Vandy too, just like Alabama. So, because Texas is gonna turn around and play. It's funny because Texas is gonna play Georgia, just like we did, at in their place, just like we did. And then right after that, they're going to play Vanderbilt just like we did. So Texas is gonna have some a similar schedule as what we're having. So Vanderbilt is gonna, they've got some pretty good competition, and they've proved themselves
I
pretty
mean, I
well.
guess they have
So
beat
Vanderbilt's playing really
they
well.
have beat Georgia or Virginia Tech, and I mean that is an impressive win. It was another home win. So at home, it looks like they are just unstoppable. Beat Virginia Tech at home. I mean, Alcorn State beat the shit out of them 55-0. Georgia
Competitive with
State,
Missouri.
they lost. They were super competitive, only lost by
They
4.
went two overtimes with Missouri.
I guess they need a lot more credit than what I'm even giving them. Because I mean, they're a 3-win team right now. They're halfway to bowl eligibility.
Hey, baby, the SEC is not easy. That's what we try to say. It's not easy, and Vanderbilt is good. Vanderbilt is good. They sleepy. They sleepy good,
Okay, but
and I see it
let's
now.
look at this though. Kentucky, guys, we'll get some bets in really quick. And then maybe we'll come back to this. We'll come back to their schedule. Let's give this a quick refresh and then see if there's some bets that we can find. I think right now we're only going to see some flip. Oh, we got a underdog play here. So let's see what we can do with this underdog play. Now, guys, if you don't know what Daily Grind Fantasy is, Daily Grind Fantasy is one of the most profitable sports betting tools that you can use. This is the AI slip generator tool. This is the thing that is going to give you the most bang for your buck. If you look at this little line chart here, you can see how much it's just gone up since they've released it. And this was released over a year ago. So this came out in August 18th of this previous year. So if we look at this, let me scroll up right above Dalton's head. You can see that the total units they've won since they've released this is up 1,956 units. So again, that is just an absolute crazy number. And all it is you go and do whatever they say that you need to do. We'll see if this slip is still available by the time we come around to it. But all I'm going to do is get Control C, go over to Underdog, give this a quick refresh as well, just to make sure that everything is good there. And I apologize. My internet has been kind of spazzing out on me all day today, and Underdog has also been kind of a little bit weird on my end. I'm not sure if anybody else is getting that. Still not loading, so this is going to be even great. Francisco Lindor, all we need to look at, though, with him going over 0.5. So I'll leave this up for y'all a little bit if y'all wanted to kind of create this yourself, because this is a profitable slip. We're going to look at Francisco Lindor to go over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. DeJounte Carrington, a WNBA play, going under 18.5 points plus rebounds. Bonner, over 21.5 points plus rebounds. Shedeur Sanders, under 317 passing yards. And then we have some NHL plays going over some points and then over some assists. So that's the idea, though, is copy it over. Let me see if my Underdog is now working. See, and it's still not. I'm not sure what's going on exactly with Underdog.
Hey, I've got my Underdog up on my phone. I just made the slip right now. It looks like everything is still there as we speak. I'm gonna go ahead and try to share that and get that up to the Twitter page as soon as possible for us. So it'll be on Boys on the Bench. So on our X page.
Yeah. So if you go to our Twitter, or Dalton, if you even wanted to post it to your personal one, we can do that as well. And see, I'm really thinking it's my internet that's kind of going on here big time. But anyways, though, this is my Twitter profile. This is where a lot of our plays are posted here as well. But Dalton, are you going to post it to yours, or are you going to post it to our channel?
I'll just post it to mine.
Okay, so let me search. So there's Dalton _boys OTB. You can get that there. I'm going to see if I can also build it out on this channel as well. But see, I'm not exactly sure what we've got going on here, Underdog. Give me a break. I apologize for the technical difficulties. This is not what all I wanted. Is Underdog working for you, Dalton?
On my phone it is.
Okay, now we're up. Maybe it is just the website too. Anyways, let's see if this bet is still up. We're going to go over on Francisco Lindor's hits, runs, RBIs. So this is how fast it should take. DeJounte Carrington under points, rebounds, and assists. Or no, points plus rebounds, I believe. Points plus rebounds under on that. And then DeWanna Bonner over 21.5 points plus rebounds. And then if we're able to create this out as well, I'll share the link in the chat for y'all. Over 21 and a half points plus rebounds. Let me close out of that. Over 21 and a half points plus rebounds. Shedeur Sanders under 317 and a half pass yards. Shedeur Sanders. Okay, we're still looking pretty good. This guy over on his points. And then this guy over on his assist. Nice. Oh, we're getting a little bit of a payout shift. Why are we getting a payout shift? So we're getting some positive correlation. So whenever we create this is actually a perfect example. I know you can't really see my payouts here, and that's fine, but we're not getting the payout that we're necessarily wanting on this. So what I mean by that is, if you can see here, our payout shift, it says that we're getting a 20.75. We want that to be a 25x payout, nothing more or nothing less. So that slip is not going to work out for us. If we take off one of these, I'm going to take off the assist for us, and I don't want to submit this. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to actually end up going back to the optimizer tool, looking at Underdog and seeing where we can add another play here for this. We may have to use one of these single plays. I like plays with multiple data points. As you can see here, has multiple data points here, all indicating the under 317 and a half. Only one other book is offering this at 317 and a half. All these other ones are offering it at 303 or 309, which is significantly less. But we have a lot of single digit data points here. A lot of push potential on that one. Let's go with this Yeps here. CS2 play. Tuesday at 6 p.m. over his map 1 kills. We see that we're getting a 13.5 and a 13. So let's go ahead and add that to the final one. So again, that was, I believe it was for Tuesday at 6 p.m. over 12 is what we wanted for that, I believe, right? Over 12, yes. So then that should give us the last leg for this slip. Let's put some money on it. And then that is what we're rocking and rolling with. So I'll share this in the chat for y'all if y'all were wanting this. Why is that not copying? Man, we're figuring this out, Dalton.
Yeah, I'm getting everything. Everything's up now.
There you go. All right, it is up in there for y'all to tell if y'all have it. So again, that was a slip that was essentially created through the AI slip generator. They didn't detect the correlation that we were going to get off of that from Underdog right here necessarily, and that's okay. But we made a quick pivot and we were able to get that 25x payout. But we kind of had the correlation with these two plays, both on the New York Rangers having one guy's points and another guy's assists. The reason that that's correlated is because if someone's going to get an assist, then that person that's going to get assist means that a teammate of theirs is likely to score the point, and that's why we have that correlation. That's why we get a lower payout, and that's not what we want. So whenever you see that, that's not really what we're looking for in these slips. Now, it still would have been a profitable slip nonetheless, but we're still okay. All right, let's look back at the optimizer tools, see if we have something on Prize Picks. I know a lot of people love them some Prize Picks.
Oh yeah.
So we have a little bit. I don't want to force anything too much right now. So Dalton, we can come back to it. We can come back to it a little bit later. But again, I did want to look back at that Vanderbilt schedule. So looking back at that, like we were saying, they are a 3-win team after beating your beloved Alabama. So that means that is this the next week? This is this upcoming Saturday, yes. So they don't have a bye week.
Kentucky, and that's gonna be a good game. Kentucky is also another sleeper SEC team. Kentucky is put up a really good fight against multiple teams. Can we click on Kentucky's schedule real quick? I want to see how good of a matchup this is going to be between Vanderbilt and Kentucky. Can we bring up Kentucky's schedule real quick? Because this is another good ball team that has played great ball versus great teams. They're really good at playing up to their skill level of their opponents.
Yeah, so let's see. They won versus Southern Miss 31-0, lost to South Carolina 6-31, lost to Georgia 12-13. Ohio won 41-6. Ole Miss won 20-17.
Beat Ole Miss. They beat Ole Miss. They beat Ole Miss 20-17.
Yeah.
So they beat Ole Miss. They barely lost to Georgia, and they've got Vanderbilt coming up. So I mean, these are two SEC teams that have beaten a Power 5 school, that have beaten a very high ranking team. So they both know what it's like to play some high level competition and pull out wins. So in fact, Kentucky's coming off a bye week, I believe. So
Yep, they are.
right. Yes, they are. They're coming off a bye week. So what's interesting about this matchup between Vanderbilt and Kentucky is that they're both coming off very big wins. Kentucky just won against Ole Miss, massive upset. Vanderbilt just came off an Alabama upset, which is considered one of the greatest historical upsets there's ever been in college football, for what most people will say. But you're going to have two teams that have these two great wins, and so it's a matter of who's going to be more even killness. So I think the team that's going to be more level-headed is probably going to come out on the win on this one. So, but I think it could be a great fight.
Yeah, let's say. I mean, looking at the rest of their schedule, that's tough. They've got to find a way to win 3 of these games. I'll give them Kentucky. I'll give them Ball State. They've got to find a way to sneak one out. I mean, like we said, though, they've been playing very competitively. As long as they're at home, and they play at home, Ball State at home versus Texas, at home versus South Carolina, and at home versus Tennessee. So that's obviously the interstate rivalry, that game kind of there. So I mean, those looks like the away is kind of their kryptonite right now. They haven't won a single away game this point in the season. So if they are able to sneak one away from Kentucky and then go to Ball State and win, maybe they are a bowl eligible team. Who knows? That'd be kind of crazy to say. But let's go back to Daily Grind, see what else we can kind of cook up here. So we got another underdog play, but it may be a lot of the same. So yeah, if you look here, a lot of the same. Now, the reason I don't really want to go with these either, and we'll get that correlation with this one as well. So maybe we're supposed to be getting some correlation on this, and it's still a profitable slip, which is likely the case why we're getting that, and that's okay. But I don't want to overexpose. The idea is not to overexpose, and what I mean by that is since we've already taken Francisco Lindor in one slip, we don't want to take him in another slip. Just because if Francisco Lindor for some reason goes on his under, he now not only screws up one slip, but then he screws up another slip. So we definitely want to stay away from that. Now, we also have some flip parlays that we can kind of show y'all. I'll open up this one for y'all, and this is a pretty profitable slip for you. And as you can see, there's not really too many long shots. I don't know what this payout is going to come out to be, but if you take all of these, throw them into a single parlay on Fliff, then it's actually really good. So I might start trying to do that right now, and then I will let y'all know. But that's nothing that I will be able to share a link with y'all on. So I'm going to go ahead and start creating this out if y'all wanted to as well. But South Carolina versus Alabama. Dalton, we're looking at South Carolina to not score a touchdown, to go under 6.5 team total points in the first half. So if they score a touchdown in the first half, it jacks up the entire parlay. So you want to go to halves, and then wait, is South Carolina away? Yes, they are. So first half.
Yep, this is going to be at home. I think this is going to be a game. Alabama is going to recover from this. I really hope. With Kane Womack, listening to his press conference that he had today, I think that, the way he was talking, the way he talked about how the team is coming together, and they're, there's two ways this could have happened. The team is falling apart. We're losing everybody. Everybody is just, but he's like, the way that it's been is like the culture, if anything, has gotten a lot better. These guys are, figuring things out, and they're saying, hey, this week we're going to have to work even harder than we've ever been. So I think they understand that another loss can be season ending. I mean, they just dropped, they're lucky Bama only dropped to 7. I mean, it could have been a lot worse than what people were saying. And if they lose one more time, especially to a team like South Carolina, which is a team that we're obviously expecting to win very easily, we thought that same way with Vanderbilt. They cannot lose again to a team like South Carolina. They can't do that. So I am expecting Bama to come out hot and stay hot this whole game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. They've got to show up and show these Bama people that, hey, this is the Bama standard. This is who we are. And so I'm expecting them to show up. I'm really hoping Bama's going to have their best defensive performance this game after what happened versus Vanderbilt. So I am going to take that and say that there are better odds that South Carolina will go under 6.5 in the first half. Then I just don't see Bama giving up a touchdown.
You don't?
No.
Not in the first half?
They may give up. They may give no. They may see, and I feel like Bama plays better in the first half, especially defensively. Like, look at what they did to Georgia. Georgia was 28-7 first half. And I think Georgia's a much better team than South Carolina offensively. I think everyone would say that. But then you look at the second half, and Bama was technically down like, what was it, 24-11. I mean, the second half, Bama got whooped against Georgia. I mean, if Georgia played the way they did the second half, we would have lost against Georgia. Bama just plays better ball in the first half, unlike except for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was the outlier, but Alabama defensively usually plays a lot better in the first half. So I'm expecting them to do a lot better versus South Carolina. So I'm gonna say they go under 6.5.
Yeah. So what I've done on this is I've created this out. The one that I did have to leave out was this Toronto Maple Leafs under 2.5. And again, the idea when you positive EV sports betting is to take the biases out of everything. But I took this out. The only reason that I took this out is because by the time I logged in, this should have said that we were getting this at plus 225. I wasn't able to get this in time. It was at plus 185, so it lost quite a bit of value. So there's no expected value to be had on that, any positive EV. So I just took that one out, rolled with the 5 college football plays, all based on the first half. Every single one of these are based on the first half, and it came out as plus 7,481. So plus 7,000 odds on this. So again, $100 wins $7,500 roughly. So still pretty solid odds there. I created that out, though. If you wanted to look at my Fliff profile, it's DJ-Riley. I've copied those to my Fliff coins, so that means that you can copy those as well, transfer it over to Fliff Cash, and be rocking and rolling on Fliff with that play. So let's go ahead and mark that we've placed that, and then we can also give this a refresh as well and kind of see what else we're getting from Daily Grind Fantasy in terms of value. So we see that one kind of already gone. So nothing else. We can look back at Prize Picks, give that a refresh as well, and see what we're getting from there. Dalton, did you want to take a look at? Yeah, we're not seeing too much here of stuff that we haven't already played. Do you want to take a look at Betting Pros and see what we got? Oh, this was something else that
Yes.
I kind of wanted to look at. I probably need to refresh this. At the time that we had started this stream, New Orleans was still playing. I'm not sure the actual outcome of that game, so let me give this a quick refresh as well. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Who ended up final? Okay, Kansas City ended up winning 26-13. So anyways, though, looking at some of the biggest underdogs in these matchups this week, the one that I kind of noticed for sure as an underdog was this Arizona. Arizona won by 1 point at plus 304 odds, which is absolutely crazy. I'm almost surprised that they gave him plus 300 odds in this game. I feel like in recent history, Arizona and San Francisco play very tight games. San Francisco now 2-3, which is kind of crazy in itself too. Also another one, New York, Hard Knocks comes in plus 260 finds a way to get it done versus the Seattle Seahawks on the road. So won that game. Both of those together would have been a pretty penny to pay out. Dalton, what do we want to look at, though, within Betting Pros?
So for Betting Pros, let's go ahead and click on NCAA, the college football. Let's do that.
Okay.
And then what I'm wanting to look at, which I thought I saw some pretty good odds on, was let's see here. There it goes.
What is it? A particular game?
No, let's see here. Scroll to the top, click on spread for right there by best odds, and click on over under.
Where are you seeing spread? Oh, this one.
Down at the bottom of the screen. Yeah.
Okay, it's on spread. And change it to best
All right,
odds.
select over under.
That's not popping up. Are you seeing what I'm seeing?
A little blurry. Hold on.
I see spread, total points, money line. You talking about total points?
No, it's over or under. Let's see what that brings up. Hold on. Okay, do you see picks at the top? Do you see when you click on? Sorry, the reason we're having some difficulties is because the mobile version's a little different than the website version, so it's a little offsetting. So scroll to the top. Do you see the NCAA? Do you see anything where it says matchups, odds, picks, leaderboard
Yes.
feed?
Picks. I see all of that.
Click on picks.
Okay.
All right. Is that what you're on right now?
Yep.
All right. Let's see what happens. All right. Now this is where we're at. All right. Now click on over under. Oh, do you see that on there? Or do you see where it says spread? Should bring up
Are you
over
looking
under.
at the spread or the over under in points?
Over under.
Okay. So what are we looking at?
It's got a lot of it blocked for you. Are you signed in?
I am.
What?
I guess it's signed me out.
Okay. So, hey, let's do this. So I have mine, or see if it'll sign back in, but I have mine pulled up and I can read them off to you and we can just decide from there. But let's see if this logs back in for
we're
for
rocking
us.
and rolling now. I'm not sure why I got kicked out. Okay. All right. So we're looking at total points.
All right, change that spread back to over under. Yeah, total.
Okay.
Yeah, the over under. Got it?
Yep.
All right. So let's see what we're looking at. Now what I want you to do is I want you to, let's see here. It's a little fuzzy here, but read that for me. Like top week 7. What's it say next to week 7?
All conferences.
And then click on filters. All right, it's clearing up a bit for me now. All right, there we go. Click on 5-star.
Apply.
All right, apply.
So these are just some of the best bets that Betting Pros is coming out for us.
Yep, for our over unders. So this is kind of where it's starting at for what they consider their 5-star bets.
See, this is what I love. There's a game tomorrow in college football. There's a game on the 9th. Then we're games on the 10th. Like every day from here on out, there's almost a sport to bet on, which is fantastic. So if we wanted to, we could even try. You want to look at this game, this New Mexico Jacksonville State. Look at this matchup. Right now, it looks like they're projecting the over 57.5. Their projections are coming in at 62 or 69.2 is what they have. So they're
Yep.
indicating that you would likely need to be targeting the over. So let's view matchup though and see what we can
Yes.
pull out from that game. So their last 10 for New Mexico. Man. So they haven't, they've only covered one spread so far this year. Over unders, they've only covered over one time this year. But let's look at Jacksonville State and see what they've done. They cover the over quite a bit. 63 points versus the godforsaken Kennesaw State. Under on Southern Miss, over. They score a ton of points. And it looks like they are likely to give up a lot outside of this Southern Miss game. But how much is New Mexico looking?
It's like a basketball. It's like a basketball score. These guys.
Yeah. So that's nice. So anyways, though, it looks like they're saying that if you want to bet on this game, it looks like you need to be taking the over 75.5 on your books. I'm not sure what we're getting from Fliff. So I currently live in a state where I don't have access to books like Pinnacle or anything else. But what I do have access to are books like Fliff because that is legal in our state. So that's what I would have to find it on. So Dalton, if you could look up Fliff and what we're getting.
Yep, I got it. And then for New Mexico versus Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
As of right now, our over under is currently set at 57.5.
So even better. What are the odds on it though? 57.5 at what? The over.
Minus 120.
So minus 120. So
They're
we're
both
getting
at
it.
minus 120.
We're getting it a little bit worse. That's why they're saying that the best book to take it on is Pinnacle at minus 106. And again, that's the idea of positive EV betting as well. Pinnacle is truly the better book. Like we're getting this at the same exact line of 57.5. Fliff is offering this at minus 120. If we were to get this at minus 106, we're able to make $14 more if we're $100 better. So if we bet $100 at minus 120, like we're gonna get a little bit less.
Right. And if you look there right underneath where it says over 57.5, it says that there's currently an 84% chance of covering with a 60% boost in the positive EV in comparison to other books. So you are getting that extra 60% with that 84% cover. Now, you don't get this information from Betting Pros as a regular subscriber, but if you do subscribe to their premium account, this is where you get all this extra stuff from them, where you get their projections and they add all the statistics to it and whatnot. So you kind of get a little neat thing here with their website. So it's something I really liked and seen a little bit of success with this football season so far. So it's a really, really neat website.
Okay, so then Dalton, let's do this. Okay, let's build out a little correlated slip for our people here as well. So we're indicating that this is likely to go over. That's what we're getting from all of these other books. If it's going to go over, that means that a lot of players are likely to perform pretty well. So what I'm doing is I'm going over to Prize Picks and I'm going to go ahead and start doing this. Prize Picks doesn't really kind of nerf a lot of the plays for pick powers, but especially if we use kind of these demon bets as well, it even really helps us in this. So if we look at this running back and how he's performed, he hasn't scored a touchdown in his last 3 weeks, but he did score 3 touchdowns in the first 2 weeks of the season. So this is a play that we could go with if that's what we're thinking, but we can also look at Jacksonville State and kind of look at what they're getting at as well. So I think that this is perfect. This is exactly what we want when we're looking at this, is this quarterback to go over on his passing touchdowns. If we look, he's only gone over on his passing touchdowns one time, but we saw how many points that defense was allowing. So if what we want to do is kind of go more on the passing touchdowns, or we could even go more on the passing yards. So Dalton, what are we thinking? Because I feel like with Jacksonville State, this is an area where we have to. This is an area where we have to get a demon going. So we can go 224, which he's hit twice this season. So I say let's do that. And a wide receiver.
Looks like he's a running quarterback. I mean, he's projected. His line right now is at 89.5 rush yards as a quarterback.
Yeah, I was going to say on 109 is his. He's only hit that one time. Passing yards. I say
I feel like
it's crazy whenever they put a demon as a 1.5 rush plus receiving for the quarterback.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like that's such a high scoring game that they're predicting, but for him to have a demon bet at 2 touchdowns, 1.5, like tells me he doesn't really throw it that much. Like I'm thinking like if we were to take the demon on his rush yards, maybe
So then like let's kind of
because
break.
if his because it,
Do we not get any? Head to head. Is that how we're able to know? I wanted to kind of see if they offered any type of stats in terms of where they were at.
Yeah.
I guess they don't.
Hey, why don't you go up there, click on articles?
Props. Articles.
Click on that first. See if it says related to articles. See if we can find one on this game.
No, I don't think so. Kansas State, they're saying to go under 48.5. Or no, Kansas State versus Colorado. You want to go Colorado plus 5.5 is what they're saying, which I don't hate that bet either. No, not related to this at all. But that's okay. I was just curious if there was a way, though, that we could kind of see where they were at. Overview. Where they were at in terms of offense and defense, whether they allow a lot of rushing yards or a lot of passing yards. We can also go to Outlier. I also have Outlier here. And pop over to kind of see what we're getting from them. While that's kind of loading, I also just wanted to kind of go back to this, see if we're getting any AI slip generator tools. Something that we can build out really quickly. Not really seeing anything unless y'all wanted another flip slip. We can do that at the very end right before we log off here. But nothing too crazy. All right, though, let's go back over here. Let's go to NCAA football games. Stop asking me questions. Just load my stuff. All right, so this is what we're looking at, this game here. So looking here.
Hey, I will say this in their last game, New Mexico State gave up 331 freaking rush yards to the University of Northern Mexico.
They
or whoever.
Aren't they? Northern. What? University of New Mexico. They are the University of New Mexico.
No, it's the University of New Mexico. I'm an idiot. Not Northern Mexico. What the hell? The University of New Mexico. I'm so used to Northern, Southern Cal. I feel like an idiot.
You should.
All right.
And this is New Mexico. They are New Mexico. What are you talking about?
I'm proud.
All right. Anyways, though.
So they're in the newer Mexico, the new one. Okay. New Mexico ran 330 rush yards on New Mexico State last week.
Wow.
Team combined 330 yards. So
well, if we look, if we look here, it looks like they are a little bit worse versus rushing yards. New Mexico's defense is on the left. Jacksonville's defense is on the right. So they rank 87th in terms of passing yards allowed, 128th in terms of rushing yards allowed. So they definitely give up a lot more rush yards, 233 a game. And then honestly, like these are the same exact teams. passing yards,
dude.
New
And then
Mexico is 87th, Jacksonville is 86th. In the rushing game, 128th to 118th. These are the exact same team.
yeah, and listen to this. Sam Houston, the week before they played New Mexico, Sam Houston ran the ball 55 times for 280 yards for 5.1 yards per carry.
Okay, so I like it, but
They're giving up
what's
almost
bad
300 yards per carry the last 2 games.
what's bad with it though is we can't really get any correlation off of it. Do you know what I mean? So if we wanted to go over on his rushing yards, and maybe it's just worth going over 291.5 on his pass plus rush. 291 pass plus rush yards may be the move.
You know, what if we go over on Trey Stewart, the running back,
Okay.
and we went under on his pass yards?
I'll hate it. So going more there. And then less on the passing yards. Okay.
For Tyler Huff, yes.
So then now we've got to go get 2 plays for New Mexico State. So then what do we want to go here? I mean, we got to get another demon bet. So honestly, I don't hate that their running back scores a tutty here, because they're not even offering us any other alternate lines unless we want to go an alternate line of rush yards, which we have not. Look here, this isn't bad. We could go the same exact thing for this team.
It'd be a high rushing game.
High rushing game, but we need a lot of points. So I'm not sure how.
A lot of
I'm not sure how this is gonna work.
Let's
go with his touchdown. I'd rather go with his touchdown than a lot of rush yards. It can be a rushing or receiving. So then from there, we can probably go pass plus rush yards on the quarterback as well.
Going over or under?
Over.
Oh, over.
Over.
Might as well.
Okay, so this is what we're rolling with. We're getting a 14.5x payout. If we roll with this, we're needing a lot of rush yards in this one, whether that be by the quarterback or the running back, preferably the running back, hitting over 109.5 rush yards. Quarterback going under on his pass yards. And then we have New Mexico, the opponent, and this is for Wednesday's game. Running back going over on his touchdowns. That gives us our 2 demon bets. And then we have the quarterback going over on his pass plus rush yards. So I think that this team, New Mexico State, I believe is the team that's going to be playing from behind in this. And the books are telling us that we need to take the over. So I expect a lot of yards to be happening. So if that is the case, let's put a mirror. Let's see if we can get $100 on this. $7. Submit that. I'll drop that in the chat there as well if y'all wanted to tell this with us as well. So let me get share, copy link, and that is in the chat. If y'all wanted to go tell that, y'all could absolutely go tell that there in the chat right there. All right.
Hey, all right. Let's go finish building out that thing on Betting Pros for this over under.
Oh, are you wanting to build a whole parlay with this thing?
Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
So we've got over 57.5 here for New Mexico State, versus Jacksonville State.
Man, this thing, I didn't realize how many times I needed to click back. All right. So, total points, let's filter it by our 5 stars again, see what we got. So we have New Mexico, Jacksonville State going over 57.5. The next one, my gosh, Coastal Carolina, James Madison. We have got to figure out a way. Maybe Dalton at a later date, jump back on here and build out another correlated slip. But we have Coastal Carolina, James Madison. They have their projections coming in at 72.2, which is nearly, I mean, it's 9.2 points. We'll call it 10 for benefit of the doubt. Nearly a 10-point difference from what the rest of the books are giving us. 62.5 is what we're getting. Don't know what this book is, but is what we're getting from this book. And we're able to get that at 72.5.
Well, Coastal Carolina's last game, they just went. Well, they won their last one against Old Dominion, 45-37. So they definitely like to keep those scores high for these type of teams.
Yeah. What are we getting for that on Fliff?
For Coastal Carolina, we're at 62.5.
Okay, so the same. So yeah, what are the odds?
Over is -130 and under is -105.
Damn. Yeah, lost a good chunk of value because you can grab this at -110 on a lot of books, even -107 from this book. If you have this book, that is the place to buy it. They're saying, but we can parlay this up. Still pretty good. So we want to do. Let's see. We want to do this New Mexico over 57.5. Then we want to do the Coastal Carolina over 63 or over the 62.5, right?
For Fliff, yes.
Yeah,
over
Fliff.
62.5.
So that's what we're building it out on as Fliff, is we don't have access to these actual sports books. We're in a state where we are not allowed to do that, but let's keep it moving. Okay, so this next one, is actually an underplay with the UTEP, the winless UTEP. Big old goose egg right in that win column. UTEP 0-5 versus the Western Kentucky. Right now, the over-unders are set at, some of them, it says 55.5. Right now, Pinnacle, though, is saying to take this under 58.5. This is the best place to get it. Right now, their projections are coming in at 46.7. So that is, again, nearly a 11 point difference. From what we're getting from Pinnacle, and Pinnacle is known to have one of the sharpest books out there, so we definitely want to make sure that we're grabbing that. What are we getting that as on Fliff?
We're at the line's currently at 59. So under's kind of the same as the last game, -130, and the over's at -105.
So under's at -105.
The under's at -130. The over, they kind of flip.
Oh, I got you.
From the last one.
See, and we lost to half a point in value, but we'll take it just because, again, although that's kind of jumped up for us. Oh, wait up! You said under 59.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I guess that essentially works out in our favor, because we're getting a half a point edge, but we're also getting those odds bumped up from -107 to -130. So that's kind of where that difference is made up for them. Do you want to stop at 5 legs? How many legs are we building out on this?
I'd say we just let's do 4.
Let's do 4.
Let's do 4 for now.
All right. So let's look at this one. So this, oh
let's
my
look at, you want
gosh.
To you want which one?
This Middle Tennessee. They're over.
Ooh, that's like a
50 and a
13.
half. Yeah, 12, almost a 12. That is a 12.1 difference right there. This one is a 9. This is a massive over. This over is by 29.5 or 29.
Damn, but see, I think that's inflated because of what Vanderbilt just did to Bama. I think that's inflated. I think they think Bama, they're going to score a lot on Bama again.
So are you saying you're not listening to this? All right, so do we want to take Dalton?
I'm biased.
No. Okay, so do you want to take the over? What play you want to go with next? We have 3. I'll let you do the last one. We've done UTEP. Let's go Middle Tennessee. Or from Middle Tennessee down.
I was going to say, I like the Middle Tennessee one because of the huge gap that we have right there between the projections and where the line is at. So I kind of want to stick with that one.
Okay. So let's go with this one, Middle Tennessee. We're looking at the under 50.5. Best place to get it is BetMGM. Right now they're offering that at -110. Their projections are having this come in at 38.4. And again, at 50.5. That's a 12.1 difference, which is a massive edge. That's nearly 2 touchdown difference is what you're talking about there. So we definitely want to go ahead and build that out. What are we getting in terms of flip on that, Dalton? That play?
So we do lose that half point buffer. They have their line set at 50. Over under
Okay.
50. So if we go under 50, we lose that half point. We actually lose that.
We use a
Yeah,
half.
that half point. So, but still, there's such a huge discrepancy. I think Flip is catching on to that, and so I wouldn't be surprised. I'm gonna jump on this now because I'm not gonna be surprised with this 12, 13 point difference that come Thursday, Friday. This is gonna be a lot closer to that.
Right. I agree.
So I think we jump on this wave early, we catch it, and this could be some easy money making right here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna take the under 50 on this one.
So what is our
Also,
what does our parlay odds come out to?
it's even better. Our parlay odds for the over is at -130. So guess what our under is? What's the trend been?
Oh, so
It's
it's
minus
what is it going to be?
130.
Probably minus 105.
Yep. So -105 is what we get. So we do get some pretty good odds here on the under for under 50 in this game.
Okay, cool. Well, that works out a little bit for us then. What do we get as our total parlay odds?
Total parlay odds come out to plus 1,020.
1,020, not bad. So $100 wins us $1,000. We will happily take that. See if that pays out for us. Let us know in the comments if y'all are tailing that at all. We do greatly appreciate it. I did get an email notification from Daily Grind Fantasy. I will give y'all that slip if it is still available for that underdog. And then from there, we will probably have to end up calling it a night. All right. So anyways, though, Francisco Lindor, all of these are the same. We've already so if you're new, just now jumping on this, we've already taken a lot of these plays. We took the Francisco Lindor play. We took the Dewana Bonner, DeJounte Carrington play, Shedeur Sanders, and this Alexis play. So nothing really too much for us to add here. But I did want to mention, though, Shedeur Sanders, they're already starting to catch on a little bit to it. We were able to grab this earlier in the stream at 317.5. They've now dropped that down to 315.5, but there is still clear value to be had there. So let's check that board really quick. If we wanted to create something out on Prize Picks, we could force something, but it's out of the norm of what I typically like to do, because whenever we create these slips out on Prize Picks, we're looking at this fair odds percentage to hit, and we need that at 54.3 or higher as an average. So in order to really make that happen, we'd have to almost go with this play here. The reason that I don't love going with these plays is because there's only one data point. It is basically Hot Streaks' word versus Prize Picks' word. Who's to say who's right? I have no idea, right? But, there is value to be had because we can grab this at under 16, whereas Hot Streaks is offering this at 15.5 and juicing that line up at -176 for it to go under 15.5. So not only are we getting a half-point edge, but then they're also saying, hey, we're actually really loving the under there at -176. But again, it is Hot Streaks word versus Prize Picks word. Clear value, I just stay away from it. So we'd have to go with this play and this play, and then we're immediately up under our threshold of the 54.3. So now everything we'd have to be borrowing from our previous two plays, and they're simply just not high enough. Underdog, though, is a little bit better for us in terms of payouts. Underdog has one of the best payout structures in all of daily fantasy sports. And what I mean by that is with Underdog, the difference between Underdog and Prize Picks. So Prize Picks, as I had mentioned, we have to hit certain thresholds. So as you can see here with those 5 and 6 legs, what we're looking for is the 54.2. That'll actually kind of round up to 54.3, but 54.2% payouts is kind of what we're looking for. But on Underdog, we're looking for a 53.8 on our 6-man slips. The reason that it's like that is because with Prize Picks going 6 out of 6, they do give you a 25. So does Underdog. But the second we go 5 out of 6, Prize Picks only gives you a 2x payout. Underdog gives you a 2.5x payout. So we get slightly better pay, meaning that our fair odds percentage can drop a little bit. So that's why we drop from that 54.2 or 54.3 to a 53.8. So we have a little bit more wiggle room in order to make that work. Now, the bad thing with Underdog right now is we're seeing a lot of these single plays. The second we can jump in at this is that Dewana Bonner. We've already taken that over on Prize Picks, so I don't want to double dip on that play. So if we keep scrolling, we're seeing a lot of just single. By the time we get down to Shedeur Sanders again, like we've already taken that. This, I don't love these NHL plays. You could take them. Ton of push potential though. Over 3 shots on goals. All of these books are heavily favoring the over 2.5, and that's why Underdog in these DFS apps just play it safe and just make it a whole even line, or a whole number line rather than actually keeping it at 2.5. But I get it with their fixed payouts. I would just stay away from those. So with that said, though, that's kind of all that we've had. We've already taken this DeJohnny Carrington play as well. So anyways, though, I hope that y'all enjoyed it. Dalton, was there anything else you were wanting to do before we decided to call it quits?
Nope. Roll Tide, baby. Let's get back on track.
My gosh. Anyways, though, yeah, no. Hey.
I had fun, though. Hey, man, it was a blast. Let's hopefully these slips hit. I'm going to be tailing them. I'm going to be sweating them. And I'm glad I get to sweat it out with somebody. So let us know if you're tailing and sweating with us.
Yeah.
So it was fun. Let's do it again.
Yeah, we'll definitely be doing this again, so make sure y'all hitting that notification bell, checking these videos out. We'll be talking some sports in between while we're waiting on a lot of this value, as well as creating some slips as well on Prize Picks, Underdog, and using betting pros to kind of help us figure out what markets we need to target whenever we're creating these correlated slips. Anyways, though, best of luck, y'all. Let's have a great week ahead of us. See y'all next time. Ride the pine.
Ride the pine.